Now your forecast first, sponsored by Jackson Hewitt Tax Service. Open year-round to service your tax needs.
Good evening. I'm your local weather authority, Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates. Some beautiful weather today, albeit a bit of a gustier day. Temperatures are in the low to mid 70s this hour under a mostly clear sky. Just a beautiful looking view on our Goods Furniture camera. Through tonight, we'll get a few clouds coming through early on. Otherwise, skies will be mostly clear. The wind speeds, those are going to gradually decrease as the night goes on. Skies will also become mostly clear or remain mostly clear for much of the night. Now, will this carry over into the weekend? We'll have that forecast coming up. Wmbd News at 5 starts now.
Coming up, I'll tell you why dozens of people are outside on this very sunny day enjoying their favorite foods. Also, new chances to worship on Sunday. We'll look at how some churches plan to bring congregations back together. And where you'll soon be able to catch a movie from the comfort of your car. But first tonight, this is a live look at Washington, D.C. this evening. As you can see, protesters across the country demanding action after the death of 46-year-old Minneapolis man George Floyd. Tonight, charges of third-degree murder and manslaughter for former Minneapolis officer Derek Chauvin. Arrested earlier this afternoon, the former police officer was captured on video pressing his knee into George Floyd's neck. Prosecutors say they are still looking over the evidence. Right now, they say more charges could come. They have not yet arrested or charged the other 3 officers who were there at the time of Floyd's death, but they say they are still investigating. And here in Peoria, the local chapter of the NAACP wants people to acknowledge racial injustice and police brutality. The chapter president says it comes down to education and conversation. He says, talk to someone who doesn't look like you and hold your elected officials accountable.
America never wants to confront its problems unless there's a riot. People are angry. People are upset. People are protesting because they are demanding change, and something has to change.
He says this is not a new problem, but years of strained interactions with police. He says the NAACP regularly creates public policy and is not just reacting to this moment specifically, and he hopes that voters remember this case come November. Of course, this is a developing situation nationwide, and we will be updating the story online. That complete coverage is available on ciproud.com. Tonight, we are also continuing our coverage of the death of 8-year-old Jordan Wilson. This afternoon, cars lined up in front of a Peoria funeral home to remember the boy 9 days after he was hit and killed by accidental gunfire. Back on May 20th, police say kids were in an East Bluff home playing with a gun when it fired. Wilson was hit in the chest and died at the hospital less than 1 hour later. Because of COVID-19 restrictions, his family could not hold a traditional funeral, so they held today's drive-by funeral instead. The boy lived at the Dream Center, where staff say they're now supporting his relatives through this time.
His memory is going to live on, that we just remember the good things that try to help get us through each day, and that hurt is going to be with everybody for a while. That sadness is going to be with everybody.
A 35-year-old Peoria man appearing in court today accused of illegally possessing the gun involved in the shooting. His bond now set at $30,000, and he is scheduled to be back in court in mid-June. Starting today, restaurants can seat customers outside. Treasurer Roberts joins us live in Peoria Heights with why people say being able to sit down at their favorite restaurant is exciting. Treasurer.
Kimberly, these customers wasted no time here at Cayenne. The general manager says he's been ripping and running all day. You can see behind me, people are enjoying their favorite drinks and their favorite foods. Now, you can dine out at this restaurant with a reservation, but the manager says they're almost already booked for the entire weekend. The manager also says they'll be following a number of guidelines. Employees will have to start the day by coming in with a temperature check. They must wear masks, and social distancing is required for customers. Only disposable paper menus are available, and even with restrictions, customers tell me they are so happy to be eating outside and eating their favorite foods.
It is amazing. First of all, it's a perfect day, and it's just great to be able to get out of the house, sit down, fresh air, and see that the world is still alive. There are still, it's good to see people. It's not a ghost town.
It's been phenomenal. I didn't really expect this much business, but it's been great. People have been very happy, just itching to get out.
The manager says it's nice to get the staff back and to get some normalcy. Coming up on WMBD News at 6, I'll tell you what other restaurants are doing to make sure that you're safe while you're eating. Live in Peoria, Treasure Roberts, WMBD News.
All right, Treasure, thank you. Waiting on word from the governor, a brand new restaurant in Peoria forced to hit pause on opening because of the pandemic. Matt Sheehan is live now in our newsroom with why the owners say they're not giving up. Matt.
Well, Kimberly Azadia and Alicia Boyd say it all starts with a dream, and if you're persistent in your pursuit of that dream, it can become a reality.
Check us out. Try Buffalo Ranch.
Azadia Boyd was born and raised in Peoria. Now the Richwood High grad is taking his passion for cooking and turning it into a restaurant located inside Northwoods Mall.
I've always had a dream of, having my own restaurant because, like I said, I love to cook. I've always was in the kitchen with my parents anytime they were cooking Thanksgiving, Christmas, And like I said, I always was creator. I love making sauces and I love cooking wings.
Wing Work will also have quesadillas, nachos, and tenders. But Boyd says he's got one item that'll make your mouth water.
Buffalo chicken fries.
The Boyd's journey hasn't been easy.
You have this plan, and then God says another thing, and then here you are. And it's like we're almost there, and then the pandemic hits us.
Northwoods Mall has not yet opened back up, but Alicia Boyd, Azadia's wife and business partner, says the wait will be worth it.
We did not get discouraged. We grind even harder, coming up with more fresh ideas.
The Boyds hired 5 people in the last week, trying to help high school and college students get a head start on their careers. Azadia says the freshness of the food and the fact their local owners will entice people to stop by.
These are the main doors of the mall, so they come in, they smell that good chicken. Let me stop here. Let me see what's going on here.
The Boyds, along with other store owners at the mall, are now awaiting direction from Governor Pritzker on when they can open. They're hoping for early next week. And the Boyds are very active on Wingworks social media pages. You can find the links to their pages on our website, ciproud.com. And Kim, while Azadia's favorite sauce is the Buffalo Ranch, Alicia's is the honey barbecue, but they both sound pretty good to me.
Well, Matt, maybe you will have a chance. We hope you will have a chance to try both of those very soon. Thank you. Well, a sign of progress from Governor J.B. Pritzker today. He will no longer hold daily press briefings. It's something we've been covering for 84 days now. During today's press conference, the governor announced his new executive order ending the stay-at-home order. Now, that means groups of 10 people or less can meet. Stores, offices, salons, bars, and restaurant patios can legally open. In this new phase, there's also an extension on the ban of evictions and utility shutoffs. Health-wise, COVID-19 related deaths are dropping. The demand for ICU beds is also down about 20%. And here in central Illinois, 2 more COVID-19 related deaths, this time in McLean County. Today, the health department notes both were patients living at the Bloomington Rehabilitation and Healthcare Center. Both patients also had underlying medical conditions. In addition, 2 new cases reported today, bringing the total to 218. So far, 175 people have beaten the virus. The Tri-County area, which includes Woodford, Tazewell, and Peoria counties, is reporting 27 new cases. Peoria County reporting 25 new cases. Peoria City County Health Administrators saying a majority of those cases are coming from University Rehab Center. The center tested all staff and residents following 2 positive cases. More results are expected soon. Tazewell and Woodford County are each reporting 1 new case. This Sunday, another point of progress for some churches in central Illinois. After legal battles this week, Governor J.B. Pritzker removed restrictions on state churches, giving them the chance to open their doors for services. They will now have the option to hold indoor services, but that does not mean worshipers are ready to attend. A local pastor says they're prioritizing safety over a rushed reopening.
Really, we're very excited about it in the sense that we'll be able to see a lot of our members that we haven't seen, but our safety is going to be the main thing. We don't want to rush back at the risk of someone's safety.
Instead, the pastor says they'll continue with online services and consider having indoor services in the future. Governor Pritzker's new guidelines still say outdoor and online services are the safest options. Well, keeping a healthy diet is a challenge when a pandemic disrupts routines. Even as the state inches toward reopening, it's not a full return to regular life for families yet. So a local nutrition expert says it's a good time to get eating habits under control and to incorporate fruit and vegetables. She says you could even make it a game for the family.
Making it fun for kids, getting involved where it's not just this is what you're eating and deal with it, letting them have a little bit of say-so and picking some items.
And Dr. Newell says when you're shopping for those healthy items, you can help both your family and local businesses by choosing farmers markets and other locally owned stores. Coming up, Peoria's fairways are filling up. The changing rules of how many people can hit the course at any time.
And the weather really couldn't be better for the first day of the state opening back up. Here's a look at our almanac. We had high temperatures in the mid-70s after some lows in the lower 60s. This cooler weather sticking around this time as we head into the weekend without the wind. Weather forecast coming up next.
Watching WMBD News, Central Illinois proud. With Kimberly Eaton, Rebecca Brumfield, and Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates with your local weather authority forecast. This is WMBD News at 5.